With quality brand name products at affordable wholesale prices, Cash and Carry is the perfect place to shop. Whether shopping for individual, business, churches, or more, Cash and Carry is sure to meet your needs. Cash and Carry of Cookeville, 931-528-8050.
The 2015 season is officially underway. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Watson Brown Show, presented by IWC Cash and Carry, alongside the star of the show, Golden Eagle head coach Watson Brown. I'm your host, Buddy Pearson. Well, the Golden Eagles are on the road for the second straight week, traveling to Spartanburg, South Carolina to take on Wofford College. But before we talk about the Terriers, Coach, let's talk about your team's performance against a very athletic and a very talented Houston Cougar squad this past Saturday.
You know, I was proud of us. I thought there were some things we did really well in the game. I thought our toughness, our mental and physical toughness was very good, better than last year. Effort carried on just like last year's team that was very good. And the attitude I thought was better through the game. We didn't have the mood swings and the up and downs. I thought our kids were very calm through the tough times and the good times. We made too many mistakes. I'd like to have played a little bit better overall as a team. We did not have turnovers. We didn't have penalties.
Right.
But we made some fundamental mistakes in our offense, defensive things that I think are very, very correctable things.
And sometimes you come back from some of these FBS games where you've played, in Oregon or Georgia or teams like that, and you're beat up, and it's just, there's not a whole lot of positives, but from this performance, there's a lot to build on.
No, I thought we left with some confidence. We did not have injury. I think that everybody that started, all the backups, will play in the game Saturday against Wofford. So we got out injury-wise very good. And as I said, I thought the kids left there with their heads up and saw that they did some good things, competed with them, know that they could have played better, watched the tape on Sunday and said, ooh, we can play better than that. And so I think we'll head to Wofford and feel good about ourselves.
Well, the Golden Eagles hung tough against the Cougars in the Lone Star State as we check out the first half highlights brought to you by Wendy's Breakfast of Cookeville. Coach, it was a hot and humid night at TDECU Stadium, and Coach, I'm not sure that the players were used to playing in that kind of humidity.
No, I worried about it all through the preseason, and it got us a little bit. We had some cramping during the game, and I'm glad you can say the name of that stadium. Don't ask me.
A lot of practice. Greg Ward Jr., a very athletic quarterback, picking up some yardage there, and then Ryan Jackson, part of that Thunder and Lightning running back tandem that they had, goes in for 1-yard touchdown.
Some really good skill players now, the two running backs, the quarterback, number 10, the receiver. Here's one of the throws to Brock. I mean, what a game he had, and thought Jared played an outstanding game and just making a nice read here on a run-pass play that we have. And Brock just found himself open and took off like he should have done. And got down here and jumped off sides with a little crowd noise, and we had 2 of those in the game. We got to still see if we can get those things stopped. I've been saying that for 5 years now, I think. But came right back and got us quick. We got on the board and got 3 points, but then they took it right back down the field and scored again on us and made it 14-3, I think, at this point.
John Arnold had the 28-yard field goal, then Greg Ward a 3-yard touchdown run, then Brock McCoyne and Jared Davis hook up again. Look at McCoyne go.
Well, Brock just has a great knack of finding spots and getting open, and We've seen him duck tackle so many times. He's a hard young man to tackle. Jared needed to throw more on this. I thought he had him so wide open that he kind of laid the ball up. If he'd have put it on, I think it'd have been a walk-in score. But Brock came back to the ball and then dunked the ball carrier. Now that was a big play in the game. We had the perfect call. They had a blitz right on the quarterback, and we don't tackle the quarterback. We just kind of went right by him and let him take it in. And so that was 4th down. We would have gotten the ball back right there. Big play in the game, I thought.
Yeah, I thought that was a turning point too. That was a 41-yard touchdown run. Then Kyle Bullard, a 26-yard field goal. It's 24-10 at the half, Coach, but you still got to be feeling pretty good because you're able to score on Houston.
Well, I felt good that we could move the ball, and I knew that the mistakes we had made defensively cost us big plays, things that are very correctable stuff. It wasn't a physical thing. It was a mistake that we made, just like not tackling the quarterback right there. He would just go lock him up and let it go, and his fundamentals were poor. We came inside a little bit on the rush, and great athlete jumped to the outside of us and took it in, score. So I felt very strongly that we could correct some of those things.
Looked like the depth of Houston really came to the forefront in the second half.
It did. Late third quarter into the fourth quarter, you could really see us start to get tired. We've started playing a lot of players to help with that, but they wore us down.
Yeah. Well, the Golden Eagles didn't go down without a fight as we check out the second half highlights brought to you by Miller Lite. Coach Stephen Bush making the move from offense to defense, comes up with a big play there. DeMarcus Ayers with the fumble, and Terrell Rollins recovers.
Yes, big play. That was, I think, first drive of the second half, and we got a nice turnover right here. Didn't do anything with it, but we did change the field position and get it back. We had 1 turnover. They had 1 turnover in the game, so we did well. This is the play that we just played poorly all night. It was that 3-man bubble, as I like to call it, and our leverage on the ball carriers, our pursuit to the ball. I think if you take that play out, those plays where they just raise up and hit these bubbles out here.
Yeah, and they pick the defensive backs.
Yes, and we just didn't get off of blocks. You take that out, and the game would have been much closer than it was.
Javon Webb then a 14-yard touchdown run, and they just kept bringing in running backs.
Well, this is when you can see us starting to get tired. I thought we started getting knocked around some now. You see a lot of young guys on the field. Jake Warwick's out there. Now we took a nice drive right down the field back and scored again ourselves. And this was maybe the best drive of the game. We took it completely down the field and some nice runs in there with some passes, and I felt really good about that.
And good to have a healthy Willie Davis in the backfield.
Willie did. Radier had some runs late in the fourth quarter that were nice. We couldn't get Ladarius going at all, but I mean, they just engulfed him all night long and wouldn't let him do much.
And as if Brock McCoy needed anything else, here it is, a nice little 77-yard touchdown from Jared Davis. McCoy finished with school record 9 receptions, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was the OVC Player of the Week, and he just picked up where he left off last year as a freshman coach. He is a playmaker on this team.
He's a playmaker. He's a go-to guy on our football team. And the good thing I'm seeing is he and Jared are figuring this out between them and made some adjustments themselves during the ball game on some things that we did. And I'm very proud of Brock. What a heck of a game against what a strong opponent.
And Jared Davis, career high, 16 of 26, 312 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Willie Davis, 6 rushes for 20 yards and a touchdown. Radier Noor, I thought, looked good carrying the football. And there was definitely some positives, like you say, Coach.
No, I'm very pleased. Don't want to go play them again, but I think we learned a lot from the game. I think we learned a lot from the game, and we got out of it healthy. Yeah. I thought that was a big thing, that we're going to go to Wofford with the same guys playing that went to Houston. So that is a great thing in itself.
And from a defensive perspective, you had Tredarius Goff back, your all-OVC linebacker. Picked up where he left off. He led the team in tackles and really looked good. And
didn't play in the fourth quarter. He cramped up a little bit, so he did his work in really about 3 quarters of play. Came out of it himself healthy, and that was good. And he's going to do nothing but get better. He's had a whole year off now, and he's having to get back into it. I thought he was a little rusty in the game. His reactions weren't as quick as I've seen his, and I promise you he's going to get better.
Yep. Well, the rest of the OVC teams cranked up their season as we check out the OVC scoreboard, brought to you by the OVC Digital Network. Around the league, it was number 25. Well, there you see it was Houston over Tennessee Tech. Elsewhere, it was Western Illinois over Eastern Illinois, 33-5. It was Eastern Kentucky, a big winner, number 17 EKU over Valparaiso, 52-10. Elsewhere around the league, Murray State picks up a big win over Kentucky Wesleyan, 52-12. It was Ole Miss just absolutely pummeling UT Martin, 76-3. Missouri, the number 24 team in the land, beat SEMO 34-3. It was Mercer 28. That's who Tennessee Tech opens up at home in 2 weeks. They beat Austin Peay 28-7. It was Jacksonville State, the number 7th ranked Gamecocks over number 8 Chattanooga 23-20, and it was TSU on Sunday over Alabama State 24-14. Coach, anything stand out among those scores there?
Well, the EIU game was a shocker to me, losing 33-5, and their quarterback, Whitlow, had 5 turnovers in the game himself, 3 interceptions and 2 fumbles. It shows you when you run a quarterback offense and the quarterback doesn't play well, bad things can happen. And he won't do that against us, I can promise you. But that one surprised me. I thought Southeast Missouri played with Missouri very well in that game. That one surprised me a little bit with them playing, their defense playing as well as they did. They didn't move the ball well offensively, but their defense hung in there well. And
taking a look at the Tennessee Tech schedule, which is brought to you by Hi Boo, we go to Wofford this week, and then we have the home opener coming up in a couple of weeks. That is Mercer coming in. Trey Lamb, one of your former players, his uncle, the head coach there, is going to be coming to Tucker Stadium. Then we go to Murray, and then we host Martin. And I really like this schedule because I love having the in-state teams coming to Tucker Stadium this year. You've got UT Martin, Austin Peay, and TSU all coming to Tucker Stadium. That's so important for that York Trophy.
It is, and isn't that amazing that we play them either all on the road or we play them all at home. And there's no split between us whatsoever. So this year we've got them all at home, and we look forward to that. And it's a great schedule. There's no gimmies for us. We're going to have to play to beat any of those teams. I thought Mercer looked really good and beating at P and won 28-7. So we know we've got their hands full in 2 weeks when we have our home opener. So it's a good schedule. We got to play well to win.
We're going to take a break. We got more Watson Brown Show coming up right after this. Welcome back to the Watson Brown Show. You know, the Golden Eagle offensive line will certainly be a key to Tech's success this season. And one player who will have a big impact in the trenches is offensive lineman Charles Mouton, who just so happens to be in our player profile this week, brought to you by Zaxby's.
The most influential person in my life would have to be my mom. Yeah, because she's a single mom. She raised 5 kids on her own. 3 of us went to college, 2 of them just went off and worked. So yeah, trying to make her proud. The first time I played football was freshman year in high school. Yeah. The hardest thing I had to overcome as a football player was playing with a broken leg in junior college, yes. That was probably the hardest. I chose Tech because it's a great place. I like all the coaches, and the weight room is nice. The things I want to improve on most is my speed off the ball, and then work on my snaps better. I want to make sure that they're precise every snap instead of just like 90%. 3 characteristics that a good teammate should have is accountability, hard work, and responsibility. One player on the team I look up to the most is probably Jabran. He's very influential. He's a good leader, and he's one of the most well-spoken captains. He's always doing, and then he's telling people to do. So when you do and others see you do, then they will follow. Favorite moment as a Golden Eagle was probably beating Eastern Kentucky. If I could describe Tennessee Tech's football in one word, it would probably be tough. Probably one goal that I would like to accomplish is becoming all OVC or something like that, All-American.
Coach Charles Mouton, your starting center, certainly has a chance to be all OVC.
Oh, he's a special player. He played a really good first half. He cramped up. We lost him in the second half. He didn't play at all. But what he went through last year and the problems with the cancer and the surgery, the biopsies, all the things that he went through, Buddy, and then finding out it's not cancer, but it took 6 months to get through all of that. And then the weight he lost this spring and summer, he got heavy through all that because he couldn't practice or anything. I'm really proud of him. He will be and is already one of the leaders of our team. I think he's right. Jabrin does a great job, and they follow him in the offensive line. But Charles is getting close. They're very respected young man on our team. Yeah,
seems to be a very important person on that offensive line. Well, Tennessee Tech has had a lot of talented tennis players throughout the years, and one of those talented players is on our Where Have They Landed segment, which is brought to you by the Golden Eagle Sports Network. Let's see where Margot Carter has landed. Check it out.
My name's Margot Carter, and I played tennis at Tech from 2003 to 2007. Well, I grew up outside Winchester in the south of England. I grew up on a small farm in the countryside, sort of 15 minutes outside of Winchester. The whole team was international. Yeah, we were all from all over the world. So that was definitely an experience. Like, we were all international, and we were suddenly here at Tennessee Tech all of us trying to adapt to the culture shock. I won the tournament in Memphis in the fall in 2005. And I played some of the best tennis I played, and I won that tournament, so that was pretty exciting, the Memphis 2005 tournament. After playing at Tech, I played on the professional circuit, so the professional circuit's got like different levels, and so I was starting out at the very bottom, obviously. The prize money is outrageous. I remember playing what they call a 10K, so a $10,000 level tournament, which is the lowest level. I was playing in Portugal and I got to the semi-finals, and I thought, hey, you know what, maybe I'll break even this week. Semi-finals of a professional tournament, that's pretty cool. And I went and got my prize money, and the guy handed me 50 euros, which is the equivalent of maybe $60, $70. And I just sort of I looked down and I thought, you gotta be kidding me, right? That doesn't pay for one night of hotel. So that was a bit of a reality check. But I did actually come back and coach at Tech, and I worked in development for a little bit, and I did my master's in biology. Like, without my sport, I wouldn't have had that opportunity. Without my sport, I wouldn't have had jobs offered to me in Nashville while I was trying to be a scientist. I'd have become like one of the many other college students just struggling with nothing. But I had all of these opportunities that were given to me because of my sport. People going, hey, you played pro, you coached college, come at our club, come to the Caribbean, come wherever. One thing led to another, and my visa expired, and so it's a sort of a twofold story. One of the only ways to get back into the country was to start my own business. And while I was back home in England last year, I was kind of bored, so I went back on the pro tour for fun, and within 5 tournaments was ranked 850 in the world. So that was pretty nice, because I hadn't competed in 5 years. So I'm in the process of trying to figure out how I can actually do a number of different things in the area to give back, maybe to people that can't even afford tennis lessons, by sort of a combination of sponsorships and donating my time to create programs in the area for the kids that maybe wouldn't be able to afford tennis ordinarily. Margot Carter, and this is where I've landed.
Coach, it's so rewarding to see these former TTU student athletes be successful and come back and talk about just the importance that Tech has had on their lives.
Wow, is that a sharp young lady or what?
Yeah.
I mean, we're very fortunate to have had her here. Look what it's done for her. It's just, that's the rewards of college to me, and a great university like Tennessee Tech, where both people win in this deal. We're very proud of her, I can promise you that. And I don't know her at all, but I'd like to meet her after listening to that.
Yeah. Well, the Tennessee Tech football team wasn't the only sport going on around campus as we check in with this week's Golden Eagle Update with Dylan Vazano.
Thanks, buddy. Well, there's some exciting things going on in Tech athletics with this past weekend. Now, all of the fall Golden Eagle teams have officially kicked off their season. You take a look at Golden Eagle volleyball. They travel to Knoxville to take aim in the Tennessee Volleyball Classic. And although it was a winless weekend, senior Cody Dodd had a monster performance Saturday against UNC Greensboro. She led all players in the match with 25 kills, hit to a .305 hitting percentage. It was one of 2 +300 hitting clips for Dodd. The Cookeville native hit an impressive .360 in Friday's match against North Florida. Well, the Golden Eagle men's and women's cross country teams, they opened their season. It was a successful weekend in the Indiana Open. Just like the Golden Eagle football team, they will also be in South Carolina on Saturday. They will take shot in the Furman Invitational. That's in Greenville. Tech men's and women's golf wrapped up play at Myrtle Beach. It'll just be the women's golf team this upcoming weekend. Monday and Tuesday, they will be in Paducah, Kentucky for the Murray State Jan Weaver Invitational. Last but not least, exciting things going on in Tennessee Tech soccer, fresh off its history-making victory against the University of Alabama for the program's first ever win against an SEC opponent. 2 players were honored for their excellence. You had sophomore Mary Frances Suits. She took home the conference's Defensive Player of the Week honor. And then you also had freshman Kari Nerdeman, who took home the co-OVC Goalkeeper of the Week. The 2 of them went over to the state of Georgia, where they participated in a pair of matchups, a scoreless draw Friday at Mercer, and then on Sunday, a 1-1 tie against Georgia State. It was a goal by junior Kaylin Pruitt, her first goal in her 3-year Golden Eagle career. And for Tennessee Tech soccer, they are unbeaten in their last 3 matches. Well, that'll do it for the Golden Eagle update. Back over to you, buddy.
All right, thanks, Dylan. You know, we've still got a lot more to talk about here on the Watson Brown Show. We've still got the Kids Corner, plus we're going to take a look at the Wofford Terriers. There's more Watson Brown Show coming up right after this.
In the NCAA Division I Football Championship Subdivision, the game is played with perseverance, integrity, passion, character, and sportsmanship as he works to honor the game and respect his teammates, opponents, officials, and fans. Every FCS player grows in his responsibilities as a student athlete and as a member of his campus and community. The NCAA Division I Football Championship Subdivision. Every down, every day.
Welcome back to the Watson Brown Show, presented by IWC Cash and Carry. You know, one of our newest and most favorite segments to the show this season is our Kids Corner, sponsored by Pepsi. This week, our young football fans have a chance to ask our very own coach, Watson Brown, a few questions.
Is football hard?
It's very hard. It's a very hard sport, but it's like anything in life. It's like you're going to go through as you get older. Anything you do, you want to do the best you can, right? Mm-hmm. You're taught that by your parents, by your teachers here, whatever. You're taught to do everything you can, full speed, and the best you can. Good football players have to do that, and they work very hard, and it's a year-round sport. But they get to enjoy the weekends. They get to enjoy the games, and so all that hard work comes into a nice thing at the end for them. So there's always something they look forward to.
Can girls play football?
Oh, good question. There are some that have. There is a football league for girls. Did you know that? There is. There is a league where girls play against each other, and I've seen some of those on TV, and there's some pretty good players. There's some I might want on my team, it looks like. Maybe you'll be a football player someday. You never know, right?
Yeah, I really do like football. Sometimes I like to throw the ball at recess.
Good for you. You may end up being a football player before it's over, and if you do, you'll enjoy every minute of it. I'll promise you that.
Does it get hot when you wear your football suit?
Very, very. And the other thing that gets hot are those artificial surfaces they play on that when they're not on grass.
Oh, yeah.
They're on turf. That's probably 20 to 30 degrees on certain days, warmer on that field. And then you put that full body uniform on that you have to wear. That's why we have to practice in that to get them used to it and get them in condition. Our players have been running all summer long.
Do you get really sweaty after practice?
Yeah, I'm a bad one. Yeah, I can lay in a shower for a while. There's no doubt about that. I'm a sweater, and I don't even have to be moving around much to do it. I think I get that through my family a little bit. And but yeah, I sweat quite a bit. How about you? Are you a sweater?
Well, every time we go out to recess, I'll run, but I'll fill my head, and it's a little wet, but not too much, and I'm like, how does that even happen?
As you get older,
yeah,
there'll be more water on you, I can tell you.
Oh, wow. Because I've seen lots of boys because they're playing rough and they're playing soccer, they're like dripping wet.
Yeah, won't stay away from them when it's like that. I don't blame you.
I don't even know what to say.
Oh,
I don't have anything to say about that.
There's not much to say.
Sharp
girl.
I'll tell you what, she asked better questions than a lot of media people I've seen. I can tell you that.
You said that, not me.
We're going to give her a job at the Herald Citizen. Good gracious.
No,
What a neat segment. What a neat segment.
Sharp
The
lady.
kids at Jerry Whitson really enjoyed
Oh, that was a neat day. That was a neat day when we took the players and me too. I had fun. That was fun.
Yeah. Well, we have another new segment. Of course, this is the 100th year of Tennessee Tech, and so we have our Centennial Moment, which is brought to you by Tennessee Tech Centennial. So let's take a look at this week's Centennial Moment.
A consensus All-American who set school and NCAA records, Ryan Weeks was the Golden Eagle kicker under head coach Jim Ragland from 1986 to 1989. It was on the hot and steamy night of September 9th, 1989 in Chattanooga's aging Chamberlain Field that Weeks broke records and earned unheard of honors. Not only named the OVC Special Teams Player of the Week, Weeks was also named the league's Offensive Player of the Week, a rare feat for a kicker. He was also chosen as the Division I AA National Offensive Player of the Week. How did he earn those awards? Weeks provided most of the offense in a 28-10 Golden Eagle victory over the Mocs, going a perfect 7 for 7 on field goals. His 7 field goals was an NCAA record, as was his 4 field goals in the third quarter. Weeks nailed along of 47 yards, and 3 more of his kicks were from 46 yards. He went on to kick 16 field goals that season, the most in the nation. He also led the nation's kickers in field goal accuracy with 76%. In 2007, Weeks was inducted into the Tech Sports Hall of Fame in recognition for his remarkable career in purple and gold, but it was on that sparkling night that his name grabbed headlines across the country.
Wow, what a moment. And Ryan Weeks was at the Houston game. He drove down and just to watch the Golden Eagles play at Houston.
I did not get to see him. I was told he was there, and that was neat. That was neat. And that's a long drive now. That's not easy. But what a great player, and he's been very classy since that time and represented Tech all the way through.
And Tennessee Tech's had some good field goal kickers, and John Arnold, pretty good field goal kicker too.
John's becoming one. Made a nice kick the other night, made all of his extra points, and hopefully he can. We don't have to kick 7 of them, but if it means that to win, we'll take it.
Well, it's time now to look at this week's opponent. Coach, I know you're traveling to South Carolina this week to take on the Wofford Terriers. What do you know about this Southern Conference team?
Well, they're good. They had a winning record last year. They finished, I think, right at the top of the league. Both of us played Chattanooga about the same last year. They're very strong at their place, very good home team. Run that triple option football, which I think is a tough thing to defend and to practice in 1 week's time. I worry a little bit about that. A solid defensive team that makes you work for everything that you get. This will be a hard win for us. This is a winning tradition. They've been in playoffs in recent years.
Yeah.
Just a solid football team that I think is like playing the academies. They're not going to beat themselves. You better get up there and you're going to have to go win the game.
And a lot of times it's not so much about the opponent you play, Coach. It's about your team, and I'm sure you always want to see the most improvement from week 1 to week 2.
I do, and this is not an easy improved week because the defense has to play something so different than what they've practiced in the last month. So that bothers me a little bit. There will be carryover for our offense. I think we're going to have to do the same things in taking care of the ball and not being penalized. But we're going to have to make fewer mistakes and not give up those big plays on defense that we gave up at Houston.
Well, kickoff is at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can listen to the radio broadcast starting at 5:30 Central Time on KISS FM 98.5 and read all about it in the Herald Citizen. Coach, Enjoyed being back with you this week.
It's been fun to get you back.
All right, we'll see you again next week right here on the Watson Brown Show.
The Watson Brown Show has been brought to you by IWC Cash and Carry, Zaxby's, Wendy's Breakfast of Cookeville, Miller Lite, Hibu, and Pepsi.
With quality brand name products at affordable wholesale prices, Cash and Carry is the perfect place to shop. Whether shopping for individual, business, churches, or more, Cash and Carry is sure to meet your needs. Cash and Carry of Cookeville, 931-528-8050.